Broadcasting from Hollywood, it's the official On Air with Brandon J podcast. Here we go.
What's up, guys? I'm Brandon J. Welcome to On Air with Brandon J. I've got some special guests today, but before we jump into our interview, I want to send my condolences to Aaron Carter's family, Nick Carter, everybody. Aaron Carter passed away this past Saturday at the age of 34, and it's tragic. I had the opportunity of interviewing him back just literally 2 months ago, right here on Air with Brandon J. And he was super pleasant. He talked about wanting to be the best father he could be for his kids, and he was working on new music. He had just signed Check the Star. So, rest in peace, Aaron Carter, from all of us here at On Air with Brandon J. Now, getting into this episode, I've got two special guests. I've got Shevyn Roberts. She's the winner, or the recipient, I should say, of the HMMA for Best Pop Song. Shevyn, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Congratulations on winning that Hollywood Music and Media Award.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What did it feel like when they announced you as the recipient of winning this award?
It was definitely an honor, and I think I gravitate toward wanting to win awards just because that's something I grew up doing in dance. And so for me, sometimes, if anything, that's kind of the meaning of success is like, I won, but the truth is I just love what I do. So it was a lot of fun though.
Absolutely. And you've been able to team up with this guy that I've known on IG forever. And we're finally doing an interview, Mr. Robert Eibach. Robert, what's up, man?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. And for those of you that don't know who Robert is, he's worked with, I'm just going to name two names, right? And then I'm just going to drop the mic from there. Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, and now Shevyn Roberts. And Robert,
yes.
Hearing this music that you've done, that you've composed with Shevyn, like, what was your thoughts when you heard Shevyn sing? Because I know she's opened up for like Justin Bieber and others, and now being the recipient of an HMMA award, that's pretty special.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very big award. And when I first met Shevyn, I was like, oh, wow, Shevyn's like a unique talent. Like she has this ability to come up with some really cool ideas that we were able to take into different directions. And dance and pop music is very much like you follow a formula, right? You have these, the drums always do this, the parts, they're pretty similar overall. But I like the fact that Shevyn was willing to go outside the box and really, with our collaboration, we were able to try some new things and really make this project unique, make it fun, make it dancey. And really, for me as a producer, it was about what can I do to really showcase who this artist is and what she's all about. And I think we did that.
That's awesome. And Shevyn, what inspired you to become a pop artist?
Well, I grew up in dance competitions. So literally like every summer, my mom owned a dance studio. So we would go to when they used to have music stores, we would go to the music stores and just listen to so many different types of music because we had like 30 routines we had to pick like a really good song for. And then sometimes we even had those edited and mixed. So I just really became really adapted to the music culture. And then through performing with dance and everything, I could just feel the music under my skin. And so I think with the pop category, there's a little bit more freedom to be really expressive and kind of like Robert says, like we can go in different directions because for me, I am a dance pop artist, but at the same time, like, I don't think there's any record that will fully express who I am, but it's whatever I feel like, the vibe is. So we just kind of rolled with it. And I just got really creative and wrote a bunch of fun lyrics and we had a blast.
That's awesome. And you mentioned the vibe, and that's what it's all about. Like, what's the vibe? Are you putting out that fire when people hear the song? And people always ask, like, what makes a hit song? And I never can answer that correctly, right? It's multiple things of which makes a song. I don't know what makes a hit song. I just know it when I hear it. So to be able to work with Robert and to be able to put this sound together, and Robert, you've done all these remixes and all these great mixes. it it really is all about what's in the mix. I talked about this in one of my interviews with Jeff Huskins out of Nashville, who's a mixing engineer for BMG, and just to hear the polished sound, I know, Shevyn, you have to be like, it's just a refreshing feeling to know you've got great sounding music that the public, that's going to appeal to the public.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was already a fan of Robert years ago before we were introduced. I had already seen, his work. So it was definitely fun to work with him. And I definitely think, he brings his best to the table. So I came up with some crazy ideas and he rolled with it. So yeah, I kind of wrote some of these songs as if it were a movie. So it was almost like I just kind of imagined something. So it wasn't always necessarily like a personal experience. It was just like a whole bunch of creativity just came out. So it was great.
Very cool. So now getting into the meat of this interview, right? Let's talk about your album. So give us the title of this album and what can we expect when we hear this album?
It's called High on Frequency, and that's actually one of the verses that I sang in my song called Running Out of Time. That's the one with all the remixes. So I think this album is totally geared for the clubs, and it's just all about having fun and all about dance. And that's pretty much it. I didn't go too deep on this one because I think for me, like the most therapeutic thing is just having fun, jamming in the car, being able to dance to some music. And so I feel like it's just really fun and uplifting for people that feel like I want to be in a happy mood today, turn my record on.
There you go. All you Billboard Dance DJs out there on the panel, make sure you check out Shevyn Roberts, Running Out of Time. So, because we know, Billboard Dance, you got to have those remixes to make an impact in terms of Billboard Dance, the charts. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Shevyn, what is some of the advice you have for those artists out there trying to break into the pop music scene?
Oh man, to me, it's all about who you're working with. So as far as the producer, are they able to really translate your vision into a record? And so unfortunately, there's just a lot of artists that they only have access to certain producers. And I was at that level at one point, but as you climb, you get to better producers, and it's just great to be able to work with people that can actually bring your vision to life and that actually like won't try to make you something that you're not. So that's my advice.
Absolutely. And Robert, what advice do you have for those artists out there that have not figured it out, the importance of how strong that final mix is?
I mean, it's super important. And I think if I may, going back to what Shevyn just said, I think it's super important, like she was saying, to be true to who you are as an artist. I mean, I think that is one of the things that when we listen to the radio, and this, is that when you listen and you hear Ariana Grande or you hear Taylor Swift, you know them right away, and you know them because they're so true to who they are. Shevyn's that type of artist as well. Is like, Shevyn when you hear her. She's very unique and she's true to who she is. And as far as the mixes go, you want to have something that, I have a friend of mine said, there's a thing called the Taylor Swift test, where you may be a fan of hers, you may not be, but is your music up to that quality? Is the mix as good as hers? Are the songs written as good as hers? Is it there? Because if it's not, you're not going to compete on that level, as far as that goes. You don't need to copy her directly. You just need to know, like, this is the bar, here's the standard, and you have to hit it or go beyond it if you can.
I mean, come on, man. She just announced her tour, and like people's weddings are being rescheduled because she's going back on tour. Taylor's no joke.
Yeah, I know. And but there's a reason for that. She does everything right, and that's she's a perfect example of someone, if you're going to be a new artist, to model your career after what she's done. She's one of the few artists out there that owns her own music even, so it's, there's a lot of things she does right.
Absolutely. Shevyn, where can we follow you on social media?
You can follow me at Shevyn Roberts, that's Instagram, and then TikTok, it's at Shevyn Roberts 17, so 17. And then actually I've been looking, and on Spotify, people are really starting to follow me there. So I guess people are really loving this album. So don't hesitate to follow me on Spotify or stream my music on Apple or Amazon or wherever you find music. But yeah, that's where I'm found. Also Facebook, Shevyn Roberts and Shevyn Roberts Music.
Awesome. And Robert, how about you? Where can we follow you?
So Twitter, Facebook, I'm at Robert Eibach, RobertEibach. Instagram is at the Bach, at THE_Bach. And yeah, pretty much anywhere like that, you can Google me. I'm pretty, I'm on Spotify, all the streaming sites as well.
Awesome. Shevyn Roberts, we're going to play running out of time right here on Air with Brandon J. Thank you so much to Shevyn Roberts, Robert Eibach, for being special guests today here on the podcast. And I'm wishing you much success. Once again, congratulations on winning that Hollywood and Music Media Award. Tell Brent I said hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats and good luck on everything coming up for you in the near future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Brandon. We'll see you next time here on Air with Brandon J. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to On Air with Brandon J. Follow on Instagram at I am Brandon J.